Hi guys, Laurel here from TriFit Wellness, and today we are going to be going into how we lose body fat and really the ins and outs of calorie deficit and weight loss in general. So let's get to it. First and foremost, all bodies are really different. So in general, most of us fall into one of these three body types: an ectomorph, mesomorph, and an endomorph. And the differences between these body types really it just comes down to your genetics and your family history. So if your mom was pear-shaped, you may be a little bit pear-shaped. If your dad was really tall and thin, you take after your dad and your body type. So our weight and how we carry body fat, how susceptible we are to gaining fat, or how difficult it is for us to gain muscle, for example, are really based a lot on our genetics. Nutritional needs really vary from person to person based on our age, our gender. So what's right for you is not necessarily the same thing that's right for someone else. And then this is a big one that we can't spot reduce body fat. So if you carry a little bit of weight on your stomach and that's the part that bothers you, if you go to the gym, the body fat is going to come off wherever it comes off. And that may be the last place, unfortunately. It's just going to come off wherever it's going to come off. So the difference between body fat and weight. So particularly with women, we really struggle with looking at that darn number on the scale and why that number isn't moving. But what we really should be focused on is our body fat percentage. So if you look at these two pictures, you really see these individuals have the same weight, but vastly different body fat. And so therefore their body looks different aesthetically. So the key point here is stop obsessing about the scale. A really great tool that we use here at TriFit is our in-body machine, so we can actually see body fat and muscle mass, and so we can really see what's going on as you're trying to reach your goals there and changing your nutritional strategies and exercising more. So when we're talking about fat loss, we really want to look at our energy balance. So at the most simple and basic level, if you look at this chart over here on the right, if we want to maintain our body weight, we're going to be eating about the level of calories that we need to consume or that we need to expend. So it's going to be balanced. Versus if we are gaining weight, it means we're probably not moving or using as much of that energy that we're taking in. We're taking in too much and we're not expending enough. And then the last piece there is our negative energy balance, where we're going to lose weight if we're moving a lot, we're exercising a lot, we're not eating as much, we're going to tend to lose weight. So those are the three ways that we talk about energy balance. The same way is we can look at calories in versus calories out. So how you identify your calorie needs as an individual is based on what's called your basal metabolic rate, which we'll get into on the next slide. But that is the calories that you need at rest. So then you'll take that, multiply by your activity level. So how active are you? Are you sitting all day? Are you up moving around? Do you do construction work for a living? So your activity level on a daily basis. So when we're in a calorie deficit, it means that we are consuming and using more calories than our body actually needs. And hence, we're going to lose weight, right? So similar to how that previous slide, when we're talking about energy balance, if we're using and eating about what we need, we're just going to stay the same. And then if we're in a surplus, let's say we want to gain muscle, we want to gain weight, we need to be eating more, we need to be consuming more than we need, and then we're going to gain weight. So how do we calculate calorie deficit? This is where it gets into a little bit of math. So we're going to take our BMR, now if you remember that's our basal metabolic rate, and we're going to multiply that times our activity level. So here is, you can just screenshot this slide. Here's how we calculate our BMR. Or if you have a handy dandy in-body machine like we do, we have it on a little printout for you. And we're going to factor in your activity level. So our BMR multiplied by our activity level, and you can see how we classify that there, to get our maintenance calories. And then from there, we're going to want anywhere between a 15 to a 20% calorie deficit. We don't want to go too far in a calorie deficit, otherwise we're going to be starving, we're going to be grumpy, and nobody wants that. And so at the bottom here, you have an example of, if somebody's BMR is 1,500, and remember that's the calories they need at rest. If you were laying in bed all day doing nothing, times your activity level to get your maintenance calories, and then you factor in that calorie deficit to see what you need. And so that's an overview of how we calculate our calorie needs for fat loss. If you have any questions, you know where to find us, and hope this was helpful, and we'll see you in the next video.